Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Benchwire. We're back with Season 2, Episode 5. Week 3 has just concluded, and we got a great podcast for you guys today. Drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get started.
We gotta start recording these earlier.
Yeah, I know. It's like 10 o'clock
in hoodie season.
on a Tuesday.
Bro. But yeah, let's get right into this. First thing that we gotta talk about, obviously, the Dolphins beating the Broncos 70-20.
That was fun.
Beat them by 50 points. That is quite embarrassing. I have some stats here. Tua Tagovailoa, 23 of 26, 309 yards, 4 touchdowns. Devon Achane or
a chain.
Is it a Shane?
A Shane.
18 carries, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions, 30 yards, 2 touchdowns. Raheem Mostert, 13 carries, 82 yards, 3 touchdowns, 7 receptions, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 9 receptions, 157 yards, and a touchdown. And that was with no Jalen Waddle.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, they're a scary team. I think that Sean Payne probably should not have said that he thought that Teddy Bridgewater was going to
I did not
replace
know
Tua.
that he said that last year. That's crazy that he said that statement. That's awful.
Probably not what you want to give Tua. Poster, board material, or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's awful.
Yeah. I mean, it's embarrassing, but it's a credit to how good the Dolphins are.
It's the fourth time that's been done in NFL history.
Yeah, Dolphins
That's
are really
nuts.
good, and Broncos are not that good.
You think Sean Payne's on the
really
hot
good.
seat if, they win 3 games this year? Say they win 4
I'm
games.
assuming they're going to win more than that.
But say they
eventually.
don't. Say they don't. You think he gets fired after 1 year? Is that possible? This is what I would do.
I would say yeah.
If I were him, I'd try and get the hell out of Denver, get fired, wait for Brandon Staley to get fired, and take the Chargers job. That's what I would do.
I'm sure he had the opportunity, but he chose Denver.
I don't think he had the opportunity because Brandon Staley had the job.
Well, he shouldn't have.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's an option, hopefully, for him if he gets fired.
Yeah.
I would take that.
But, I mean, yeah, I think that...
Because that team's in shambles right now, the Broncos.
I think we need to, though, talk more about the Dolphins.
They're pretty good.
Because...
They're contenders.
70 points is insane. I feel like we're not putting enough emphasis on that. 70 points is like a college
They
game.
could win the division now. With the Bills slowly declining. They won their past 2 games, though. But the Dolphins, they look amazing.
Well, I think
on
the Dolphins are
offense.
clearly the favorites to win that division, though.
Well, they are.
I'd say
But
they're probably
I'm
the
still giving the
favorites.
Bills a shot
I'm giving them the favorites to make it out of the AFC.
already.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mr. Patrick Mahomes.
Whose offense has not looked the best, other than maybe this weekend, but they were playing the Bears.
But Travis. We'll talk about Travis later, right?
Travis and Taylor.
Travis and Taylor. And then, I don't know. Dolphins, Chiefs. But the Chiefs' defense has been looking good the past few weeks.
Yeah.
I know they played the Bears.
I just still...
They played the Jags too, though.
I think
the Jags are good.
They're just not going to beat the Dolphins. I don't think that they have the players to get to that. And I'll talk a little bit more about something in the future, or not the future, and later in this podcast, but I just don't think that the Chiefs can hang in there with the Dolphins right now. The coaching might be able to do it, but player-wise, I think the Dolphins have an edge.
Okay.
So, next topic, got to kind of talk about the Jets offense.
Pretty
They lost
shit.
15-10 to the Patriots. Zach Wilson was 18 of 36, 157 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah.
That's 3 games now. 2 that he started. That's 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Hackett's offense is stale. It's clear that it only works with Aaron Rodgers. And I think that Zach Wilson, I think that he needs a fresh start. I think his days in New York are over. I don't think his days as an NFL quarterback are over.
When he got drafted.
I think that Wilson will get a better chance somewhere else. And I think he could be a good player if he's given the correct, things around him. But
he's done.
No, I totally
He's
disagree.
washed.
Because I think he shows
He's a bust.
He shows flashes. He has the arm talent. And at the end of the day, that's all you need. Everything else can be fixed. But yeah, if you're the Jets, you have a lot of options. You could sign Carson Wentz.
No, they signed a
could
guy. They got Trevor Siemian today.
It don't matter. You could sign Carson Wentz. You could sign Joe Flacco. You could sign Matt Ryan. I'm pretty sure Matt Ryan and Wentz reached out. They said no. Joe Flacco's still out there. I put down a few names that they could trade for. Trade for Taylor Heineke. Trade for Jacoby Brissett. Trade for Andy Dalton. Or trade for Ryan Tannehill. In that case, trying to pry him away from Tennessee. My favorite choice in that would definitely be Andy Dalton. I think he is a professional.
I like Andy
Dalton. He's a leader. He just threw for, I want to say, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers against the Seahawks. I mean, that is beyond impressive. But then they could also go for Tannehill. And a lot of people would say, well, why would you do that if you have Aaron Rodgers coming back next season? Tannehill is on the last year of his contract. So, the Titans might realize that, okay, this is probably it's going to be Trevor Lawrence and, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson for the next few years. We got to rebuild. So they could go ahead, begin to kind of do that process of tanking, getting the high picks, and figuring it out from there. And Tannehill probably wouldn't cost too much at that point. So I think it would be worth giving him a shot. But I think Andy Dalton's my favorite. I think, he's just a good quarterback. I mean, yeah. It was behind a mediocre offensive line, too, of the Panthers that he threw for 361 and 2 touchdowns against the Seahawks. So, personally, he could probably get it done.
Yeah, but if I were the Jets, I would just go sign Carson Wentz. I think he fits that offense, and because of that O-line, you need a guy that's mobile and can move so he cannot get sacked. I think he's the perfect option. Andy Dalton, he's kind of slow.
Tannehill can run. So
Tannehill can run, but you're going to have to give up draft capital. I don't think they want to do that.
I don't think it would cost much. Last year of his contract. It depends what the Titans think of their team right now. That's what it comes down to.
I don't think, I think they still have a shot at potentially making the playoffs because they're the Titans. Team, yeah. Mike Vrabel, they're good, right? You got Derrick Henry still, and you got D-Hop now. He hasn't been that great to start the season, but, I feel like they could still make a push, so I feel like they're not going to just throw away Tannehill already. So if I were the Jets, I would see if it could offer a draft pick for him, but I don't think they want to do that right now, the Titans. I would go out there, sign Carson Wentz.
I think the Jets would be willing to, though, because you don't want to just throw the season away.
Well, the Jets...
And bringing in Tannehill would probably make them an over 500 team.
Well, yeah, but, you have to do that now.
Yeah. And I think that they could try to prime away from Tennessee right now.
I don't think they will.
But then again, Tannehill hasn't played the best this year, but also their offensive play calling has not been the best either.
Derrick Henry had a dud game this week.
It's just a clusterfuck.
Man.
But yeah, I want to talk about Davante Adams. He expressed his displeasure with the Raiders culture. I believe it was earlier today. He said, I don't got time to wait around. It's not my mentality to sit here and try to take all season and figure it out. Kind of brings up the idea of should they try to trade him while his value is still sky high. I wrote down a few teams here that I think could be interested. Although it's going to be really hard to make it work because he has, I believe, in 2 years, he has a cap hit of $35 million. That's insane. I thought the Chiefs, obviously.
That would be
absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it would really work because they have guys like Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Nick Bolton, Willie Gay. They have a lot of guys who still need to get their contracts.
I think he'll take a pay cut. He would restructure his deal to play for the Chiefs. I think he would do that.
Yeah, but I think the way when I was looking at his contract, a lot of the stuff it's not his bonuses that would be paid by Vegas. A lot of it is, part of his cap hit for those other years, and so I don't know how much of that can get moved. I put the New York Giants. I said that Leonard Williams would have to be involved, obviously.
They can have
and it would probably work because he's a UFA at the end of the year, so
they can have him.
But again, same kind of with the Chiefs. The Giants need to re-sign Andrew Thomas long term, possibly Saquon.
They re-signed Andrew Thomas.
They did? Mm-hmm. How long?
5-year deal.
Was it this?
They did it this offseason.
Okay, so they not Andrew Thomas, but
they re-signed Dexter. Saquon would be the one that is expiring.
But I thought also you guys are losing Adoree Jackson, and he's 10.
People can have him, man.
that wasn't my point.
Okay.
Let me finish. My point is him going and Leonard Williams going, that frees up the cap space to make that potentially work.
Yes.
And then I have kind of a sneaky team, Detroit Lions. Cap-wise, I think they could do it. They only have to really re-sign like Penei Sewell pretty soon. I think he has like one more year. But yeah, I mean, other than the Lions, I would probably say, like, other than the Lions being the sneaky team, out of the two obvious ones being the Chiefs and the Giants, I would actually say the Giants are probably his best landing spot in terms of cap and how that would all work. I think they can make it work.
Jets. When Rodgers comes back.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I think that the Jets would be...
I would love Devontae.
Or not, sorry, not the Jets. I think the Giants would be a fun destination for him to go to. Obviously, I'd hate to see it, but I'd also rather him go there than the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, because he's playing with Daniel Jones. You'd rather him play with Daniel Jones.
I'll go on record right now by saying after that San Francisco game, like, listen, I always shit on Daniel Jones. Listen, that's part of the NFC's, like, banter. Right?
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to shit on each other.
Still a good quarterback.
But, like, Daniel Jones is a good quarterback.
Thank you.
I will say that.
Thank you.
It's clearly not his fault.
Thank you. Handshake. Handshake, yeah.
If he had Devontae Adams, like, he would very easily be in that 15 to 10 range of top quarterbacks. He's probably already up
top
there,
15.
I'm saying,
I don't care what the haters say.
Like, Daniel Jones, if he had time in the pocket and a receiver like that.
Oh, my God. He would be good.
He'd be a good quarterback. So
he is good, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. Obviously, listen, he's one of those guys where it's like Tua, right? When they make a mistake, everyone's going to talk about it. I don't know. I mean, same with, like, Jalen Hurts to an extent. But, like, I don't know. Some guys just, people want to talk about them when they fuck up. But they won't talk about when they do good.
Exactly.
Daniel Jones looked pretty decent against the Niners. I mean, with what he had.
Yeah.
So, speaking of quarterbacks that get shit on, Justin Herbert, disrespect. It's way too loud. I don't understand his hate that he gets. Mm-hmm. He has a 1-2 record this year.
Mm-hmm.
74.4 completion percentage, 939 yards, 7.8 yards average, 6 touchdowns, no picks.
He's getting well compensated for it, though.
Yeah. In 52 yards, or sorry, not 52 yards. In 52 games, he's thrown for over 15,000 yards, 100 touchdowns, 35 interceptions. And he currently has a 500 record at 26-26.
I blame that on Brandon Staley.
Same. And I think that if they were to get this guy an actual coach...
Sean Payton.
No. I think Sean Payton's days are behind him.
We'll see.
I just think that there's a lot of quarterbacks in this league, and I guess this is kind of the topic, but Justin Herbert being the main guy. But you can talk about Daniel Jones along with this. Although they're not on the same caliber at the moment.
One day. I hope. Please.
Some quarterbacks just... I don't understand this whole, a quarterback's record is what makes them good. So, like, when people talk about Jalen Hurts, I think if you probably saw it on social media today and whatnot, I think he's like 21-1 in his last 22 games as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
I love Jalen Hurts, okay? But are we really about to sit here and act like he doesn't have an insane team with him?
He does.
Like, record... that's not a quarterback stat, and I hate that we use that as one. And that's why I bring up the Justin Herbert stats. Like, he's 1-2, but I read you those stats, you'd be like, oh my God, he has to be like undefeated.
That's the same thing with the Daniel Jones primetime stat. That's not his fault. They're 1-11 in the last 12 primetime matchups.
Yeah, it's
not his fault.
It needs to stop.
Primetime matchups, you play the most premier teams in the league. They played the Niners and they played the Cowboys. Two of the best teams in the league. Dan Jones ain't winning those games. I'm sorry.
It's funny. It's like all these Thursday night games are shit, but when the Giants get one, it's like, of course, it's against the good team.
Yeah, give me a better matchup for us.
But yeah, some of these quarterbacks, they just don't get the credit they deserve. Herbert doesn't get the credit. I think there's a serious argument to be had that Herbert is better than Jalen Hurts. I will say that. I love Jalen Hurts, but Herbert is...
As a passer, yes, but... Mobile-wise, no. Obviously.
Yeah, but you're a quarterback, so passing he has to be way
Well, yeah, he's the better passer. That's not a question.
Yeah, so I'll go on record and saying I think that Justin Herbert. Listen, we've had this conversation before, off camera. I think Justin Herbert's going to be a Hall of Famer. I think he's just going to do it. He has the numbers. I think he's going to have the numbers. I mean, he already has 100 touchdowns, 35 interceptions. That's a good,
that's a lot of
ratio. 15,000 yards already. I mean,
I did not know that.
That's what I read like five minutes ago.
There you go, doing your research.
But yeah, Herbert's really good. But like, I don't know. I just think Justin Herbert should be talked about more as a top quarterback. I feel like people try to count him out as the top five.
That's
not a quarterback stat.
I know it's not, but that's why he doesn't get talked about. That's why he's in the shadows. That's the same thing with Kirk Cousins. I think he's playing like a top 5 quarterback right now. He's leading the league in all categories, I believe. Passing yards and touchdowns.
I don't know.
No one's talking about Kirk.
I guess I brought this up mostly because there's, few people will watch this podcast, but if there's any of them that have this mindset where Justin Herbert isn't that good of a quarterback that people make him out to be, and like, no, I'm saying that people make him out to be.
I got you.
So like, if there's people that think like that, like I hope this like can wake them up. Like,
yeah, wake up. What are you doing?
He's a good quarterback. Daniel Jones, good quarterback. Like,
he will be great one day. I hope. Please do something.
It's just, I don't understand. Winning cannot be a quarterback stat. Obviously, I think they have the most impact on it, but that isn't to say that their team can't fuck them up.
Yeah, it doesn't have the asterisk when the whole offensive line's hurt for Daniel Jones and he has no receivers and he's playing the Niners. Immaculate D-line. Like, they don't care about that. They just care, did you win or lose?
Yeah, I don't know. And the last topic that I have before, if you have anything that you're thinking of, is the Chicago Bears. Kind of just wondering where they go from here. They're 0-3.
Get Caleb Williams.
Both sides of the ball, extremely inconsistent. Fields is not breaking out like he was kind of expected to be. I mean, people had him as MVP favorite, all that.
All right, that's
I would say that I think that the hate on Fields is a bit unwarranted. 4 total touchdowns, 4 interceptions through 3 games. The play calling is pretty shit.
You need to get him.
But then again, I don't watch like all 11 or whatever it's called, so like I can't see if like he's missing open receivers.
I saw one play on Instagram where he clearly didn't see the guy wide open. There was like one read, I think it was week 2, I forget who they played, but like Mann's was wide open. He had all this time to pocket. Did not give him the ball.
Yeah, I think Fields he needs to develop more. I mean, that's the thing when Fields was taken was I think a lot of people expected him to be more polished than he was. Yeah. He had a few great throws at Ohio State that really raised his draft stock.
Oh, yeah.
I can think of the one to Chris Olave. It was like a 50-yard bomb, and it was perfectly placed. It's easy to look at those and just assume that, okay, he's going to be able to do that consistently, but clearly he can't.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also just like, okay, then if he can't do that, why is the offense not more tailored to his, like his skills? I'm not saying that they need to run the ball more because I think he's more of a Deshaun Watson in that type in terms of he makes it happen. It shouldn't be a play call. But I feel like Cole Kmet needs to get more involved, like that underneath, like that safety blanket. I feel like they don't utilize him as much, and I don't know. I think the reason I think it's a weird situation is because people are already saying that they need to rebuild again, which I don't believe, because I think that Ryan Poles, their GM, he had the right idea going into this offseason. Protect Fields via the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Get him a wide receiver 1 via trade.
DJ Moore.
And then fix their linebacker issue with TJ Edwards and Terrell Edmonds. Is it Terrell Edmonds? It's one of the Edmonds brothers.
Yeah, it's one of them.
The only thing that they missed out on is the D-line. And, like, looking back, they probably should have drafted Jalen Carter. I mean, he looks like he's already a top 3 D tackle.
A lot of people should have drafted Jalen Carter.
Yeah, there's a lot.
What everyone was doing.
But, like, I think Ryan Poles has the right idea. So, it comes down to the coordinator, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Seeing people saying that they need to move on from Fields already. I'm like, I don't think that's still a little early.
I've said on record before that Justin Fields will not be a franchise quarterback because he's on the Bears franchise. The Bears don't know how to develop quarterbacks. They haven't been able to do it since, I guess Jay Cutler was their last, franchise guy. But he was nothing.
He wasn't really
special.
a franchise guy. It was just like long bridge quarterback.
Yeah, he was their bridge quarterback. They haven't been able to develop a franchise guy, and I don't think Justin Fields will last if their record is awful. Like, if they have the option to go out and get Caleb Williams, I think they do that.
Yeah.
Like, I would trade Justin Fields, get draft picks for him, build a team around Caleb Williams.
At that point, though, where do you think he would go? I think Tampa would be interested.
That might be an option. I think the Jets might be on the table after Aaron Rodgers is done his tenure there.
I mean, I know last year people were talking about when like Fields was having a good end of the year. They were like, "Bet you wish that you would take him over Zach Wilson." It's like, I don't know if I want either of them right now.
Who else? I could say the Vikings can move off of Kirk Cousins, and then they could acquire Justin
That would make
Fields.
a lot of sense for them.
Like, they're a team, like, there's been trade talks.
Because I already thought that Trey Lance was
not trade talks. There's been trade rumors that Kirk Cousins should get traded. Jets. Because, like, the Jets are built to
by
win.
Fans.
By fans.
Not by actual media.
Yeah. If that happens, right, you go out and get a guy like Justin Fields.
You said Kirk would get traded where?
To the New York Jets.
That would make sense.
Well, that's what the Jets fans want. That's what they want.
That would make sense. Because if Rodgers comes back, then they have Kirk Cousins and him. Because Kirk still has the contract, I'm pretty sure.
It's a lot of weird stuff going on. A lot of fan GMs.
Yeah, that's how you know that fans don't know what they're talking
Twitter
about.
GMs out there.
If Kirk is he's a free agent, then maybe. But like,
I don't think he is. I think they extended him.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I was like, doesn't really make sense.
I don't know. So, like, if Kirk Cousins leaves the Vikings somehow, then Justin Fields could go to the Vikings. That's an option. Trying to think of another. Commanders, that's an option. I don't think Sam Howell's the guy. I don't.
Well, yeah, I don't think Sam Howell is the guy, but I think
past week they're gonna give him a chance.
I was gonna say, I think you give him a chance.
Oh yeah, they're still gonna give him a chance. I don't know, maybe the Titans, but like they do have Will Levis they do have Malik Willis, but maybe like
Titans,
one of those players could get shipped.
Because like with the Titans, I'm like, okay, they trade Tannehill, they're looking at like Drake May in this upcoming draft. So like, then what the fuck was the point of drafting Malik Willis and Will Levis?
Yeah, I don't know.
You could have got better skill position players there.
That's a new GM, so I don't. Well, he didn't draft Malik. The new GM got Will Levis, so I think Will Levis will
Mayo
start.
Coffee guy.
Will Levis, I think he will start by the end of the year. He'll get a few starts under his belt.
Well, I think that if they trade Tannehill, it would be Will Levis. You'd think.
Yeah.
But it could.
Well, like if they're out of playoff contention, I think he'll get starts. Trying to think of other places he could land. Justin Fields.
I don't know.
It's just tough right now because we all know the state of the NFL is too early in the season. But like
Raiders,
that's an option.
But that probably
Jimmy G has been awful so far to start the season. I think he's leading the league in picks. I could be wrong. I know he threw like right. three on Sunday night. So that's another option. There's a lot of Broncos maybe move off of Russell. You get Justin Fields.
The point is, there's a lot of
there's a lot of teams that want a quarterback. Every year there's a team that wants to move off their quarterback, get a new guy, and Justin Fields will have a lot of options. So,
I mean, that's all I got topic-wise. I mean, this was a pretty hard week to find topics for. I feel like, I don't know, we're at that beginning point in the season where it's like, okay, it's not so much overreactions. It's like they're actual like reactions and they're fair, but like it's still a little bit early.
It's still a little overreaction. The Bears could start winning games.
It's hard to find topics right now. So like this is a little bit of an unorganized podcast. We kind of just shit talk, but I mean, it is what it is, man. Sometimes there's just not topics.
I think it's time to shout out the socials and call it a.
Go ahead, man. I'm ready to go to bed.
All right.
That also probably played into this.
Yeah, we're a little tired. It's like 10 o'clock, but so. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We got socials. Check the link tree down below. We got Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and everything else in the description box down below. And we'll catch you guys later. Benchwire.
Out.